What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have a lot to talk about, a lot of Batman-related stuff. We have to clear the air with some things, and then with other things I want to talk about in general. So, obviously, DC fandom in just a few weeks. I've been having loads of videos talking about DC fandom. I think a lot of us, obviously, right, are getting really excited. There was the first initial trailer of DC fandom today, so that's really exciting. And there was this thing that popped up, I believe it was, yesterday night, and it was basically BatmanGothamKnights.com. So if you go to this website, it says it's under construction. There's really nothing else there, but it's in big words, right? It says under construction, and that's all we got. Well, I was gearing up to make this video. I was ready to go. I know that other people have probably talked about this, wanted to have a different take on it, and then on our Discord server, which again, it's good to have one of these Discord servers, there was Sheriff Howdy, so I do want to thank him for sending this. I don't even know if he watches these Batman videos, but he linked this guy. So this is Owl Ghouls Drifting Orbit, and he says, heads up, some have spotted a domain name for this, okay, for the website that people are talking about, which takes you to a site that is under construction. It's fake. The only official ones are GothamKnightsGame.com and GothamKnightsFandom.com. They both have Mark Monitor, whereas Batman Gotham Knights doesn't. So you could be saying, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, and he kind of breaks it down. He sends a lot of the domain information, and you look at this new one, BatmanGothamKnights.com. The registrar is Tuskow's Domain Inc., whereas all of the other ones, and it breaks down where that actually is, it's in Toronto. And then you can look at the other two websites, which again are the ones that he says are real, and it's got a different registrar to it. So that one is the one linked with Warner Bros. So basically, to try, because I know some people, I talk fast, I get confusing, and this is confusing as it is. Basically, to sum it up, is a domain, how it was registered for the other two, the ones that are the actual real ones, Gotham Knights Game and Gotham Knights Fandom. Those are basically Warner Bros. Owned domain. Remember, I was telling you, Warner Bros. Can basically pick whatever domains they want, right? Get these URLs basically so that they have them, so nobody else can have them. Okay, that is theirs. Whereas this one, this BatmanGothamKnights.com one, this one is not from them. This is somebody else that has it. Now, does that mean the game isn't called that? No, I mean, I still think it could be called it. It's just maybe there's an extra word there that we're not thinking of. It'll be interesting because maybe what it could just end up being is the site, nobody's really caught the site yet, or maybe the site has been listed in that, remember the original like 20, 30, 40 domain names that we know Warner Bros. Has. It could be one of those, and maybe we'll see it that day. Because here's how it's going to probably work, okay? DC fandom's going to happen. The website probably still won't go up. Will there be other hints between now and then? I really do think so. And then when the game gets announced at DC fandom, the website will go live. You know what other website will probably go live is Warner Bros. Montreal's website, right? So, and remember, with any kind of game, and this honestly happens with games both big and small, not every game, but most games, is there's the website for the developer and publisher, but let's just talk about the developer. There's a website for the developer, which in this case is Warner Bros. Montreal, which is still, being destroyed and being rebuilt, right? That would come online, and then there's also the specific website for the game. Okay, pick your game that you want to use as an example. There's a website for it, and there's also a website for the developer that's making it. Now, the website for the developer may not be really detailed and have a lot of stuff in it. Warner Bros. Montreal's would, but sometimes they don't if it's a smaller developer. So that's how it'll probably work. So this, and I'll be honest, I was gonna flat out come out here and say like, oh my God, look guys, the website's real. But at the end of the day, I do believe this. These guys definitely seem like they're smarter with this kind of stuff than me. Seems like this one is a fake. Now, is that a bad thing? Again, no, not necessarily. There could be a missing word here that we're not. Because again, Batman Gotham Knights. It could be Batman Gotham Knight, and just that one letter could be the difference, right? Because if this guy or this registrar again owns this domain name, either Warner Bros. Is going to have to take it from them, right, by having some sort of negotiation, or they've lost it and they better hope that their game isn't called that. But of course, look, we know how unprepared and how bad Warner Bros. Montreal has done these kind of things, but with a video game, with something this big, with something like Warner Bros. Games and all that stuff, trust me, they've got everything under control. They know that the game is real, so trust me, probably years ago, they have the name of the website that they want to create. So I'm sure it's still under their possession. If it's not, that's just really poor planning on their part. But beyond that, we've seen over the past couple days, look, teases are becoming a little bit more frequent, and that's the other part of what I want to talk about in this video. Not everything has been real, okay? Not everything has been real. You got to be careful of who you're reading, who you're trusting, but there's, and also, there has been things that even myself, right, I said, well, maybe we can look at this, and maybe you can't. This past Monday, Warner Bros. Montreal returned to Twitter, right, where they did the job posting. It was crazy. It was alarming to me that they skipped last week, and then they just decided, hey, don't read into that at all. We have another job posting for you. I know some people had tagged me on Twitter, and also people were just saying it, without me, saying that there's like figures in the background, and 2 of them look like the Court of Owls. To me, I mean, I guess you could, I'm not going to say that that's not true, especially because I do fully believe there's been very small teases in some of the pictures they've posted of the, when they have these job listings. With that being said, they do look like mannequins. So I don't know, if one of them is a man. The far right one, 1000% to me, looks just like a mannequin. The other 2 are a little bit more blurry because the camera's not kind of like focused in on it. So, I mean, it could be, but at the same time, I don't, that may be a little bit too obvious. But again, I'm not going to try and discredit it, because again, I feel like in the past, right, I feel like they've had those Court of Owls, like those hoodies, they've had shirts, they've had all these other things. So I really do think there is something to these job postings. They are definitely just job postings, but I think kind of ironically, they've also been small teases at what's to come. Also, was it Warner Bros. Ireland or whatever that the Twitter handle was? They teased, I think this was over the weekend, how they were going to talk about, and it links it to when they do talk about, the 4 Bat family members. A nice little bio of how like the Bat family members operate. Now, and I tweeted this too, what are the odds that we get something like this 3 weeks away from DC fandom? Why would you be focusing on the Bat family, on Robin, on Nightwing, on these? Like, why is now the time to do that? And that, that mixed with, we've had hints before of like Warner Bros., the Canadian Warner Bros. Games in Canada, how they have been teasing basically that, okay, they're going to shut down, they're going to kind of get absorbed by just Warner Bros. Games, and the last thing that they posted was about Batman. Now, it was Batman in Injustice 2, but it was still Batman. So, look, we're 2 weeks away. Okay, we're 2.5 weeks away. The DC fandom thing just got posted today. This is becoming very, I mean, like, all hands on deck. You know what I mean? This is very, very real. These things are, some of them, and you got to be careful, because remember what I said. There's a couple things we got to keep in mind here. As we get closer, and this is 2.5 weeks, and we're already being slammed with this stuff. And again, you can really go into this past weekend. So we can say 3 weeks before, and didn't I predict this? I said 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before we started getting these kind of things. Now, are all of them supposed to be teases? Maybe not necessarily. I think some of them are maybe more sly, kind of like funny, like we know, so we're going to like give you this. Some of them are like that. Some of them are. But at the same time, as we keep going, these leaks are going to get more and more and more. Remember, when we get close to any kind of event, everybody and their mom seems to know somebody that works there, or they work there, or, you know what I mean? Everybody has an in. I've never pretended to have an in, so I'm not going to start now, right? But a lot of people in the kind of leak community, a lot of them were people on Reddit, stuff like that. Everybody seems to know something, right? And it only happens, by the way, as we get closer to it. So we got to keep our eyes and ears peeled, because I feel like over the next 2 weeks, there will be misinformation. There will be kind of like miscommunications as well, right? I don't think all of it will be blatant, like supposed, like they're trying to mislead you. I don't think all of it will be like that, but I do think that will be there. But we have to just be careful of what we're seeing. At the same time, like because of this website, right? A lot of people are running this website. Totally cool. People had to do some digging to find out that it seems to not be the actual one. That's okay. I don't think that diminishes anything, by the way. It doesn't take away anything from our excitement about this game. This game is totally real. This game is happening in 2.5 weeks. I think just all that's going to happen now, and what we can kind of expect is, we may find the website. Someone may find the website before then, and like have a really, really solid idea that is finally the official one. But again, I really feel like the game is going to get announced, and then everything is going to come back online. Warner Bros. Montreal will come back online. The new Batman games website will come back online, and then we can all go from there. Again, no real tease from Warner Bros. Montreal they're going yet, which is a little alarming, because like, what if in a doomsday scenario, right? We talked about that with Slick Moth, where I mentioned it really quickly. Like, if that happens, like, I don't even know what to say if Batman's not there. But no, in all honesty, I 1000% expect this game to be there. We only have 2.5 weeks of waiting. We just got to keep our eyes and ears peeled for any additional information. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think about this website? Do you still think it's called Batman Gotham Knights? Now, again, this website was called Batman Gotham Knights, so it could just not have an S. It could have an additional word to it, so it could still be something along that lines. We know it's probably not Arkham, right? But what do you guys think the title is going to end up being? Have you guys been seeing these different teases? Have you seen anything that maybe I haven't seen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel podcast now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And, you know, because we're only a couple weeks away from this, definitely going to be picking up the coverage of this game probably every 2-3 days at the minimum. I'll be having a new Batman video, okay? Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about DC fandom specifically, so we got lots of really fun videos coming to you guys over the coming weeks, okay? Can't wait to see you guys there.